Year 7s and 6s, of course. Here is a video explaining how Mr. Mac would go about finding an answer to solving the problem of the corn farmer. I think most of you have had a crack at it now. If you haven't had a crack at it, there are spoilers ahead, so please don't look at this video yet. Have a go at solving the problem first, and then you can come back and have a look at how Mr. Mac's done it, just to make sure that you're doing the best learning that you can. No point in just listening to me, so I spoil it. You won't learn anything. All you do is copy. Okay, first of all, I'm going to read the problem aloud. The corn farmer. The corn farmer is at the markets to buy some new seeds for the month ahead. There are 2 stalls selling corn seedlings. The tall man was selling 100 seeds for $5. He said that after 1 day, there would be 100 plants. After 2 days, there would be 200 plants. After 3 days, there would be 300 plants. The short man was selling 1 seed for $5. He said that after 1 day, there would be 2 plants. After 2 days, there would be 4 plants. And after 3 days, there would be 8 corn plants. If the growing season lasts 30 days, which man should the corn farmer buy his seeds from? Now, all of you actually gave me an answer which was good. You either said that he should buy from the tall man or buy from the short man. What a few of you missed out on doing was recording your thinking to prove that you were correct. You wrote a sentence and that was it, whereas I need to see how you know you are right. So let's have a look at one way Mr. Mac might go about solving this problem. Now, first of all, I think one thing, if we're sorting this information out, that's important is that a season lasts for 30 days. So I'm going to highlight that because that's important to me. So after 30 days, would the farmer have more plants if he went with the shorter man's option, or would he have more plants if he went with the taller man's option? Because obviously farmers want as much livestock or as much plants as possible, because then it bears more fruit or vegetables, which means that they can sell more, which means they make a higher amount of profit. Okay, now what I would have recommended for this activity would be to create a table. And in my table, there are 3 columns because there's 3 important bits of information that I need to keep track of. The first thing I need to keep track of is the days in the season. Now we start at day 1, go to day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way down to 30. Just going to leave that there for now because I don't want to give away the whole answer yet. The next thing that we need to keep track of is how many plants from the short man. In fact, no, sorry, it was the tall man that we talked about first, wasn't it? And the plants from the short man. Righto. Now let's just go back and read that second paragraph just about the tall man. The tall man was selling 100 seeds for $5. He said that after 1 day there would be 100 plants. Days taken, 100 plants. After 2 days, there would be 200 plants. And after 3 days, there would be 300 plants. One thing I'm noticing already when I look at this table is these numbers are jumping up by the same amount each time. And I have a feeling that this pattern's going to continue. So I reckon after 4 days, there would be 400. 5 days, 500, 6 days, 600. I've got this pattern down pat. I don't need to keep filling out this table, but I do need to get to 30 days. So after 30 days, we've got 100 after 1 day, 200 after 2 days. I reckon we're going to have 300 or 3,000. 3,000 plants. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Alright, so now that I know that there's a lot from the tall man, I can't just leave it there. I know that 3,000 sounds like a lot, but I haven't checked the pattern for the short man yet. Righto. The short man, let's read through his paragraph and see if we can start adding to the table with this last column that we've got. The short man was selling one seed for $5. Oh, only one seed. The other bloke's selling 100. It's not many. He said that after one day, there would be 2 plants. Oh, better put 2 in there. After 2 days, there would be 4 plants. Okay, that's gone up by 2. Because 2 plus 2 is 4. After 3 days, there would be 8 corn plants. So if it's going up by 2 again, shouldn't it be at 6? No, that's not going up by 2. That's gone up by 2. Then 4. Oh, that looks like it's doubling. So if that pattern is doubling, 8 plus 8 would be 16. So on the 4th day, I'm guessing he would have 16. On the 5th day, 32. On the 6th day, 64. That's nowhere near as much as the tall man still, but I might need to keep going because this pattern is growing quickly. It's growing very, very quickly. I wonder if it might catch. This seed seems to, like, it starts off small, but the plants shoot up pretty quickly as you get more of them. If I double 64, on the 7th day I should have 128 of those plants. If I double it again, 256. If I double it again, 512. On the 10th day, I should have 1,024. On the 11th day, what would I have? 2,048. Wow, that's shooting up pretty quickly. 4,096, I think. I could be wrong there. I hope I'm not. No, I think I'm right. And that's just on the 12th day. And if we look back to how many seeds there would be from the tall man on the 30th day, it's only 3,000. After 12 days, the short man's seed has sprouted into 4,096 plants. So whilst it looked like the short man might not have many plants at the start, because we've got an exponential growth pattern where it's doubling each time, the growth starts off small and those numbers start off small, but as you get more and more, it shoots up and becomes pretty big pretty quickly. So after 12 days, the short man has already got more plants than the tall man would have after 30 days. So those of you that answered saying the short man man's seeds where the what the farmer should buy. That's my answer. I probably could have worded that better. Ugh. Can't just leave it at that, because after 12 days there are already more plants than what the tall man's seeds can grow after 30 days. Now, what I found interesting was a lot of you actually showed me what the total would be if we kept on looking at this pattern and growing it until we get to 30 days. So thank you for doing that. I think a lot of you got up to well over 1 million, but it's good to practice those doubling skills because it helps with our counting. Another way we could show it is we're multiplying 2 by itself a lot, aren't we? 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. If you do 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times, that would equal 32. I could write it as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which equals 32. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Or I could save myself a lot of effort and write it as 2 to the power of 5, which still equals 32. So that 5 is not saying 5 times 2, which would equal 10. It's that little 5 there is saying 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So I've got 5 of those 2's. If we wanted to figure out the whole month, all we'd need to do is 2 to the power of 30. And a lot of basic calculators won't show that if you do it, but if you've got special scientific calculators, you can type in 2, then you can type in a little button that looks like that, little upwards arrow I think it is, and then type 30 and push the equal sign, and that'll give you the answer. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope it's helped some of you with a strategy for figuring out a problem where we're looking at number patterns. And certainly when we're looking at number patterns, tables are a good way to go because you can see how those numbers grow. Because whilst the short man didn't look like it was a very big growth over the course of the month, he certainly ended up with more than just 60 seeds. Thank you for all your hard work today, students. Thank you for listening to this video, even though it's a 12-minute one. I'll be back with some more videos tomorrow and hopefully Friday so that we can continue to improve in our mathematics, even though you can't really see me much at the moment. See ya.